Hello everyone, this is Evelyn. I'm back here with my YouTube channel, and tonight we're going to be talking about mudcloth fabric. What is mudcloth fabric? First of all, mudcloth fabric is made in Mali and the Ivory Coast. A lot of the Sankofa and a lot of the different birds and things come from the Ivory Coast. And then a lot of the strong, heavy browns and mustards come from Mali. Either place, they have great mudcloth fabric. What I'm showing you, because there's so much labor into mudcloth, hardly any of it ever goes to waste. I'm showing you how we take the remnant of it and we make different types of hats. Okay, this is the bucket hat. Of course, this is a baseball cap with a little bit of suede fabric, closures on the back. And these are always, never just start out making these hats. These hats are from what's left over from making a garment. Okay, now what is mudcloth fabric? Mudcloth fabric is a fabric that's made in panels. It's equivalent to a fabric that's like, more not like a fabric, but it's more like crocheting. Okay, mudcloth is a very old style of making fabrics where the cotton is woven and the cotton pieces, there's the hand step of how they actually weave the mudcloth. Mudcloth can come at different variations of pricing. If there's a lack of rain and the cotton doesn't grow as full, then you can see a skyrocket price of mudcloth. Mudcloth is always sold in panels. If you see this stitch right here, this stitch is connecting this panel to this panel to this panel to this panel. All mudcloth is always made in panels. You can just take this and rip it off, and then you have a mudcloth panel. It has a wrong side and it has a formal side. Now, what is so special about mudcloth? First of all, mudcloth is the first cloth after wearing leaves. It's just that sacred and just that old. When you see mudcloth, you're going back to nature, okay? Meaning that mudcloth was used as a camouflage. You know how you see camouflage now? Everything is green and black or brown and black. You see the military wearing camouflage. Well, this was your actually first camouflage. It was the piece the hunters would take. They would wear it in the fields, they would wear it in the woods, and they would come back with the livestock that they've slain to feed their family. So it was a sacred cloth. It's also known as a protector's cloth, because when the hunters would put this cloth on, they could sink and they could blend in with the animals that they were trying to capture. Excuse me. So that is what's so sacred about mudcloth. Now this fabric, because it's so intense and it's so intricate, it's always trying to be, like, say, copied, because nobody really wants to go through the hassle of hand weaving this cloth. What is special about mudcloth? First of all, when you see a mudcloth piece, the mudcloth shows you how many people is in that family. Every person that's in the house has a part of making the cloth. They will put their symbols on it. You could tell how many people was in that family, how many people's in that tribe, and they will have pride in making their cloth. That's why the designs, each family has a different design. Just like you have a different last name than your neighbor has a last name. So the Bentons would make this fabric, and the Jones would make this fabric, and the Alexanders would make this fabric. And each mudcloth has its own distinctive design. Now, mudcloth come in single panels, and the panels can vary. And the reason they vary is because the fabric is actually made out of mud. It's made out of sand, and then the colors is made from saturated vegetables. When you first see the mudcloth, it is actually white. It's the color of the cotton. So the fabric, all of this fabric has been dyed with a vegetable dye. So that's another unique, authentic thing about mudcloth, is that it's not made with paint. It's not made with chemicals. It's made from actually vegetables that they have dyed or they have used. Say for instance, you have a banana, and the banana peels are put in a pot, and when you see lots of pictures where they're they're chopping up, or they're trying to get that certain color, or they're blending. They do it for making mudcloth. They do it for making meal, for making food. They're always doing something, and they're doing it by hand, and that's what they're doing to make the different colors. So each person in the family will make it, and it's a form of art. It's not perfect. It's textured. It doesn't have the same design. So when you buy a mudcloth and you want the same one 5 years ago, you're probably not going to get it. You probably just forget it. You can get the same color scheme, but the designs just pass on. And then as they do it, as this panel, say for instance, we take this panel out and we want to take this and make it into a scarf, or want to make it into a hat, or put it in the center of the skirt. Well, when you see the next panel, because it's not mass produced or printed in a factory, it's hand done, that panel will be different from this panel. So it takes a very special person to uniquely coordinate and put mudcloth together to make garments. And so once you make that garment, it is really a one of a kind. So if you like to buy something from me with a mudcloth design, you can go on Evelyn's Creation Etsy, and you can see the variations of mudcloth. And I sell a ton. It's my favorite fabric because I like the labor that goes into it. I like the artistic texture of it. I like the workmanship of it. It's adorable. And I have several different colors of mudcloth. We're gonna take you through the gallery of my mudcloth. I call it my mudcloth cave. We're gonna show you different mudcloths. But the main thing is that if you want a mudcloth is textured, it's hand woven, and it's woven into 4 to 5 inches, and then it's connected with a zigzag stitch, which means that you can peel off a stitch when you need a stitch, or peel off a panel. We call it a panel. We peel off a panel to make your different things. And then once you finish making your piece, always save your remnant or your treasures. I don't like to call them scraps. I like to call them treasures. And you can just make an array of different types of hats with your mudcloth. Now, it's November here in Florida. It's still warm. I'm actually in Orlando, Florida. So we don't have much cold weather, but we can still sport a mudcloth hat. Again, mudcloth is for protection. This is Evelyn with Evelyn's Creations. Please like and subscribe. Go on my Evelyn's Creations Etsy page and see a variety of mudcloth clothing. Thank you. Goodbye.